minute early, and I've already got one viewer. That was it. Sorry. Hello, Al. I saw your message pop up just when I was connecting. I am burning daylight. But don't tell the police, because I've already been arrested for arson once. I'm not going back. They'll never take me alive. Bollocks. I'm armed and dangerous. You'll never take me alive, copper. So I'm thinking of changing the channel to more of like a men's fashion thing. So I've got this cheeky little number on. Let me stand back. I think this is a German fashion designer. So I am wearing, I think it's pronounced Volmar, something like that. Right, yeah, let's get to shooting in a second. So I'll try and actually shoot some in this session. I know I haven't been on a couple of days. I have been shooting just a little bit, but we had dog issues. So I chose the wrong, I think everyone chose the wrong career. Just become a vet and you'll become a billionaire. So Thursday night, the dog was limping down the stairs. So it's like, okay, I'll squeeze his paw and see like what's going on. Didn't yelp out or anything like that. So it's like, okay, he's not in pain, so I'm not going to spend $18,000 taking him to the emergency. So I booked him in for the following morning in a vet. $600 for the vet to look at him and go, he's sprained his ankle. Just wait a few days. And then gave him some like anti-swelling, ibuprofen kind of for dogs, basically, like anti-swelling, taking the swelling down thing. $600. Oh, it's from a John Wayne movie, Burning Daylight. Slap some bacon on that biscuit. Let's go. I honestly don't know what movie that's from. It doesn't even ring a bell. What was John Wayne's real name again? He had a woman's name. Was it Marilyn? Was his real name Marilyn? Something like that? Madison? It won't come to me. Like most women. So all the joking aside, like I did think, oh, the ensemble, the nice grey. What is it? Rooster Coburn. I don't know that. But what is it about men's fashion? I am obviously not into fashion. This isn't my forte. But when you go in like one of those like Old Navy or something, and it's got like women's and men's, why is it like 3/4 of the store is women's, and it's like all bright colours and all different things and all that, and then you go to the men's and it's blue, brown, grey or black. That's it. Like, I just wish there was a bit of colour into it. As I said, like my frames, like whenever I buy frames, I like it to have a bit of colour, orange, yellow, and something bright. When the frame, we just need more tie-dye in our life. We need to channel Robert Marley and just get the tie-dye going. Oh, I do actually have a good tie-dye curtain. I was going to put it up for today, but I kind of forgot. I didn't realise the time. But yeah, for tomorrow, I know it'll be Mark who's doing his coffee thing, but like later on in the day, I'll have a different thing up. This one will come back for Halloween probably, but I do have a couple of other of these, whatever you call them. They call them a tapestry from the China shops. They call them tapestries, but it's very cheap polyester. I wouldn't really call that tapestry. Right, Rooster Cockburn. I don't know what that is. Is that the name of the movie? And shooting today, I'm still sticking with it. I'm really sticking with this. What do I want to say? Knobby. That was it. I'm sticking with Knobby. I thought I bought down. I could have sworn I bought down all the new. I did. Right. So before I shoot, it's a shame he's not in, but I know he'll probably watch it later. Shades sent me some more nattys, so I'm kind of paying him, like, he's doing it out of the kindness of his heart, but I'm going to send him some, like, the paracord bracelets with the magnet and thing in it. But this one is one I didn't show. This I got this in the last one when I got Knobby. So this I haven't shot it yet, obviously. These are going to get banded up later today. But they're so nice, and like they're almost like that perfect size, because like fits in your pocket. You can tell women, yes, you have got wood when they look and see the bulge. Right, so that is Rooster Cockburn. I honestly don't even know that movie. Let me think. It doesn't even ring a bell. I like John Wayne. I'm not a big John Wayne fan, but honestly, that movie, I'll have to look it up. I do watch these back, and I try and remember things like people put in chats, because I know I'm really bad and I forget the whole chat thing. So I do try and go back and at least look. So that was one from last time. So far unknown. And as you're the only one here, Al, if you want to name this, then I don't know if you can see, so I'll hold it up. There's like a saw mark there. So it looks like he's kind of sad. It's like, oh, I'm a sad natty. So there's that one. I'm going to need to buy another bloody shoe thingy soon. Let's actually let's put them in, because then I'll know how many pockets I've got left. Right, there's an empty one. Right, so these three came a couple of days ago. I don't know how he gets it so smooth. I know some people have done, Katharine Hepburn. I almost certainly have not seen that movie then, because it doesn't ring a bell at all, Katharine Hepburn and John Wayne, that I've seen. But I will check that out. Maybe I'll make a note of it, because in tandem with this, I am kind of doing the 31 days of horror, and I'm trying to watch horror movies throughout October. But there's another natty, and that, I don't know if he sort of sanded it to be like that, but if I probably put it up like that and rotate it, you see how it's kind of shaved in there? It's almost like your fingers just go over that, and then the crevice going in, because it's sort of like this, so it fits perfectly on your hand to do that. So we'll be trying some of these. I'm gonna band them up today, and throughout October I'll do like 2 or 3 shots with them. Right, we've got 2 more that he sent. So this one he's actually used. That's what it came banded up. So it's actually, when I first saw it, I thought this was like an elk horn, or like you don't get elk in England, like a deer horn kind of thing, just the way it looks at the bottom. But no, that is wood, and these are so light. But that, I could get a little bit of a long draw out of that. But that's another nice one. Again, it hasn't, it's got to have the word horn in that for the name, because it does look like deer horn. The Haunting, the original 1963. Now, I agree with you. That is an excellent movie, and there's no but to this. Like, I should definitely add that because that is a good one. I don't know if you know of this, and when Adam was on Mark's like Sunday morning coffee like a few weeks ago, when I joined, you heard Adam say something about creature features. Now, I don't know if he watches it all the time, but every Friday and Saturday night there's a YouTube channel called Creature Features, and they do live stream of like really old horror movies, like from the 1940s, 50s, 60s, and they've had some fairly recently ones, but it's brilliant because imagine the chat, right? So imagine slingshot shooting channel with coin cloned about 2,000 times. Imagine what that stream chat is like for a really old horror movie that everyone's taking the piss out. Like, that's what it's like. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's Creature Features, and they'll have a movie tonight. So I think it's at 9 o'clock Mountain Time Friday nights, and I think it's 10 o'clock Saturday nights. But that's my 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock, so that's Mountain Time. And last one I'm kind of looking forward to, but I haven't ventured yet, is a pickle fork. Now, I still have the pickle billy. Like, I banded it up. I haven't shot it yet, just because I haven't ventured into pickle fork, but I'm tempted to jump into it a bit more now. So I've got me a little pickle fork to mess around with, which is good because I did want a second pickle fork. I didn't want to ruin any of my other bands. Hello Redleg, how you doing? Just showing off all the nattys that Shades has kindly donated to me, which that was the last one. It was yeah, a pickle fork. So I'm going to band this up probably tonight. I've got to get a new one of those rulers where you can pull the thing out to do the bands, like the single bands, because the one I got, so I bought it as a kit from one of the China places, and it had a 45mm roller blade thingy, but when I set it, the thickness of the thing was bigger than 45mm, so it didn't actually cut anything. So I'm gonna have to figure that one out. But yeah, so probably I'll try some of these new frames in the next couple of days, but pickle fork. But yeah, for now, we're still going with Knobby. And as you missed the beginning, Redleg, the question I would like answered today, men's fashion. Why is it you go in somewhere like Old Navy, 3/4 of it is women's clothes, and it's all like different stuff, and then you go to that tiny little corner that's the men's clothes, and it's blue, black, grey or brown. Those are the colours you're allowed. A 60mm? I didn't know you could get a 60mm. Well, the actual, like, the ruler thing that I have is now been destroyed because I just got so pissed off of it. I actually put it in, I should have had a video of it, but I actually put it in the catch box and shot at it because it was like, no, fuck you. So right, so let's, how's that? Yeah, that light's a bit bright. Oh, the other plan I have for today, because where I've got those LED lights in the catch box, there's another wire, so I can do another strip. So what I'm planning on doing is threading, like doing LED lights along the ceiling, going down, kind of like, think of it like an upside down landing strip lights at an airport, so the lights will actually be going up along. I don't want to put them on the floor because the dog will just like scratch them up and electrocute himself, something. But yeah, that's the plan for after I've done this, is get these LED lights so that there's a bit of better lighting going on. So I'm gonna go for the let's kick this out of the way just so I don't step on this. Still about 7 meters. Still trying to zero in on this. I find I zero in, and then after a day or two of shooting, I kind of lose that thing. Oh, so I also said what I'm trying to do is do like a few people do the anchor point first and push forwards. So I'm trying to get my brain to do that. Right, as far as fashion goes, when in doubt, wear a kilt. I've never shopped at Old Navy. Yeah, red leg. I was on one of your streams once, one of your lives. It was probably a month ago, something like that. And I said, "Oh, is that a utility kilt?" That was me that was asking about the utility kilt. I would love one of those things, but they're expensive in US dollars. When you do the conversion from that to Canadian, then add the shipping and then add the import fees and all that, it's a lot of money. Like, it is pretty much like half a mortgage payment for one of those. But oh, I would love. I've eyeballed like some of those cheaper ones, and it's like, yeah, I know I'll get it and I'll regret it, and then I'll probably go, oh well, like, because I've got this is shitty and I really want, and then I'll get a proper utility kilt. And if you haven't seen them, Al, what we're talking about, think of cargo pants but a kilt. So you got a kilt, but you've got like all these pockets and everything. Like, they actually have, there's a cleaning company in Calgary and it's called Men in Kilts. So I think it's more for the ladies, but you get like these guys come around wearing kilts, like the utility kilts. So they've got like hammers and all their tools in there and stuff. That's interesting, Al. The strobe. I don't have a strobe, but these lights do flash. I'm not sure how fast. Let's try. I think that's about the fastest they go. It's, oh, yeah. That's doing some slow. It's doing a dance. Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. It's actually really off-putting. Now that it's probably actually a bigger test to shoot and not have like an epileptic fit. Actually, it is doing my eyes in a little bit. So let's just change it to a gentle yellow, because yeah, I think I might actually have a fit if I was staring at that. Right, so I'm trying to do anchor forwards, line up the bands, draw the line, and now does that show up? Carhartt, is that the brand you get of the oh no, that's Al saying Carhartt. Yeah, I think the brand for the utility kilts is literally just called utility kilt, like they are their own thing. Right, so anchor forwards. That looked a little high and to the left. but it was just turning on the fan because it's surprisingly hot down here. Yeah, I know it's Canada, but we're still in this little heat wavy thing. Well, to me it's a heat wave because I overheat anyway. Only reason I got a hoodie on is because I went out shopping this morning and it was, well, it was -1, but temperatures in Calgary are weird. Like if you hear -1 and you're on the east coast, you're thinking that's cold. But yeah, -1 here is like still fairly warm. Oh, chucking. I think I did watch your live video. I think it was last night, and you saying about people like just going live. Because I know I did message Chucking. I think it was in a little back and forth, and I said, "Do you have a set time?" Because like, I don't want to step on people's toes. Yes, that's the good thing about my channel. You can listen. You don't even really need to watch. Because my brain just goes, I've got lots and lots of junk in here. Just blurt it all out. Oh boy, does that get me into trouble. I was told that I was like this close to an HR appointment. I think I was at work and I did, if you've seen Californication and David Duchovny when he goes motherfucker, I kind of done that at work to greet someone and someone kind of complained. So yeah, I was told, yeah, don't do that ever again. I thought I was in the company of people that had a sense of humour, or at very least had seen Californication. And actually, I don't think I'm going to do that anchor point first. It just feels weird. So line up the bands, draw the line, and pow. I've definitely got the release down. I did get in trouble many years ago. I was a teenager at the time. I was probably like 18. Because for me, like, my brain says something and it immediately just comes out of my mouth. Like there's no stoppage. There's no, should you say that? It's like out. So I had a friend and he had a girlfriend. We're meeting her for the first time. And she had kidney problems. I didn't know this at the start. So, so we're meeting her, and me being me, telling jokes, I said, what sits at the end of your bed and constantly takes the piss out of you? Being in England, taking the piss means like joking around, oh, you're an idiot, like taking the piss. And she's like, I don't know. And I said, a kidney dialysis machine. And yeah, I didn't know that she was on dialysis. Went down like a lead balloon. Magnetic pouches. I've seen those. Yeah, the little T-shaped things. You hold on to the little nipple bit. I'm going to call it the nipple bit. I don't know if it's got a proper name, but yeah, the little thing. I may look into that. So I'm into the pit pouches. I don't know what this pouch is that I got on this, because it was already banded. It looks like some kind of leather. But it doesn't smell like leather, but then it looks very old anyway, so leather wouldn't really smell of much. And yeah, Chucking, yeah, that's what I saw when you said it, and it's true. Like, we are going to overlap at some points, and not everyone has that set time. I've noticed some people, they'll just go live, and it's like on the fly. So yeah, there's gonna be overlaps. I was more just like, okay, like we know D. For me, D's is on at 6 p.m. on a Wednesday because I'm Mountain Time and he's Central, so he's 1 hour ahead of me. So I know not to go live around then, and that's why I'm just like trying to figure out, okay, who does what when, so that I'd still go live, but if I can avoid it, like I just want that subconscious awareness of like, I'm not being that new guy. You know, when you start at a job, or you're at a job and you've been there like 10 years, and they hire someone new, and that person comes in and they're trying to like prove themselves. Oh, we should change it. This will be better if we do this. Like, I don't want to be that guy. Like the one that starts coming in and then starts streaming over people. I'll do it now because fuck the lot of you. I'm established now. Right, so what am I doing? Right. I don't know if that's shining through. I'm going to change the light to white because I find when there's holes in the paper it shines better. Yeah, it is a remote, but at the moment it's got, I don't know if you've bought these like LED lights that come in strips and these things, but you get a plug and then there's like a little box and it's got 3 wires on it. So you've got 2 different LEDs. Then you've got like this little aerial thing. The aerial thing is kind of round the back at the moment. That's why I keep getting up. Not getting up, that's why I keep walking up there, because I need to get the thing to go around the corner. But that's another thing on the list for today, to do the LED lights along the ceiling. I don't know how well it'll work. I'm probably going to have to get my kid down here to maybe just hold the lights up and sort of get a feel for what that looks like. And also the beams, like I could go straight down, but I've got to threadle it through because I've got these big thick beams going across. So I'll figure something out. I did ask Rick where he got his need a backlight. For like this camera, like this, the one that's behind me, you mean? Or a backlight on like the catch box? Oh, I don't red leg. I do actually have. I mean, it's the black light reactive paint. I'll have to look into that. I didn't know that was a thing. I did get us in Dollarama, which is the Canadian dollar store, Dollar Tree. We do. It's difficult to say because we do have Dollar Tree here, but Dollar Tree doesn't sell anything for $1. It's all like $5 and up. So I think it's US Dollar Tree. So in the US the stuff you buy would be $1, but here they're like 5 and up. Cause we get completely dragged across the coals here. So I did notice, not just now but a few days ago, because I was shooting over the last couple of days, we had like, for those just joined, we had dog problems, had to take him to the vet. So that was 600 Canadian dollars to be told he sprained his ankle. And then last night, so me, the little bit of me that's in touch with the feminine side, I do like it, from England as well. I enjoy a bath, so I was laying in a bubble bath and I'd just be like watching videos or whatever there. And then I heard my kid go, Rusty's ear's swollen. So I just shouted out, it sucks to be Rusty then. Because I'm not spending another $600 to be told, yeah, it'll go down in a couple of days. But oh, that's what I was gonna say. I do notice naturally, and I don't know if I'm just channeling my old archery days. Is I'm beginning to shoot like I do archery because I shoot horse bow, and so with a compound bow you're just pulling back, you're drawing back. With a recurve you're pretty much doing the same. With a horse bow you're up above and you do that. I've noticed naturally, I think it was Thursday night, or Wednesday, I started just doing that because I'm trying to find a technique that works, and without thinking I realised I was doing my archery draw. So if there's an award for weird draw at the moment, it's against me and Benji. But it's not like an enormous thing, it's just kind of pointing up and then drawing and bringing it down. But yeah, my finger was in the way then. Release I've definitely got down for sure. I am going to check that paper soon. I don't know if it's only tiny on my screen, I can't really see, but I know like when I watch the videos back you see like the little dot of light appear. Because that's what I was hoping, and that is part of the reason I've done the whole LED thing in the box. I wanted to see that little dot of light appear, just so I didn't have to keep going up to it all the time. And that catch box, that started off as my archery thing when COVID hit. Like I was going to the archery range like every day, or as many days I could, because luckily it's only a 10-minute drive from where I live. But when of course COVID hit and things had to close down, I luckily had friends with garages and woodworking stuff, and I built that for archery so I could still do it in the basement or out the back. But yeah, now it's just been converted into slingshots. But yeah, my release, and I know I've said this a few times, my release is the same as I do for archery. Because I should get, if anyone was interested, I could pull the horsebow out and show you at some point. But with horsebow archery, so what you're doing, so that's the string, so you clip your arrow on, and then what you're doing is, let me think, because it's been a while, so let's say that's the string. So what you're doing is like that, and then you put your thumb over, and the arrow is sort of knocked in there, so you're like that, and all you do, you relax your thumb, so eventually your thumb does this, the pressure from the string flicks your finger open and it shoots. Because yeah, that's why my horse bow is only like £18, because you're not drawing with your, really it's your wrist that you're drawing with, that's where the pressure is. All the pressure is on your knuckle of your thumb. So if anyone wants to try horsebow archery, don't go for the same as your other bows, because you'll tear your thumb off. Just so you know that the compound bow I had was £70 and I could shoot that. The £18 was just right for my thumb. That didn't sound like it hit anything good. Not bad, but I didn't hear that nice little paper tear. But we'll just do a couple more shots and see how I'm doing. And then maybe change the target up. Because I found the zombies and I want to do a zombie. So let's just have a bit of a cup of tea. I've got my Viking mug for my cup of tea. Oh. Actually, it's not too bad. Like, the grouping's really good. As you see, like, I'm getting the groupings well. That's just a bit high. And I find also, like, when I'm live, that was another reason I didn't do, like, I did want to do live every night, but I find I'm worse when I am live because I'm talking away and doing all other things, which is good. This is like slingshots and therapy for me, because, like, I'm just getting all the shit that's in my head out. My dad never hugged me. So don't worry, I won't go there. I had this babysitter that used to... That's for the after dark version. But yeah, so the groupings are good. I'm getting really consistent with a fairly decent grouping. It was just a bit high. So I want to do the zombie. There we go. If you never saw the zombie from the other night, it's only I was showing off all the one, not showing off, like, oh look at me, just showing one. So that's the zombie from that place that I print off all the targets. Yeah, let me catch up on the chat. I'm trying to be good. See, what I should do is get, like, you know, you get those shock collars for dogs when they bark. What I should do is get something like a website and have a button on it that people can click, and when I'm like waffling for too much and not shooting or ignoring the chat, they could click the button and over the internet it would send a shock, and then I'd go, oh, gotta check the chat. Like, it'd be 2 shocks to check the chat and 1 shock to shut the fuck up and shoot. And if I start begging, then do about 100. You see, no filter. Brain says it. It's like, out the mouth. Right, let's just have a bit of a cup of tea before, and I'll read. All right, Al, so you're saying a light behind it. I did think of that. The trouble is that even with LEDs, like, eventually I'm gonna hit one, and because they're like a strip, so it's like Christmas lights. You break one, the whole thing goes out. So that's the only reason I didn't do it backlit fully like that. I don't know how I would do it. I mean, I could try another strip, because the way that's lit, like, it's going around like the roof, so it'd be like going along the roof, down the side of the wall, along the bottom. So the one along the bottom is facing up, the one on there is facing in, the one facing down, the light. So if I kind of put it on the back wall facing to me, but just around the back edge, that might work. Maybe I'll try that. Because, yeah, I was trying to get it to light up the catch box a bit more as well. Because, like, in this, like you don't see all the stickers and things. So, and I've got a good collection of Omega Slings ones up there now. Like, I've got 4, I think. Right, so I have 3 Omega Sling stickers and 1 that wasn't a sticker, but it was from Mikey, that says "Welcome to the club, pussy hole." So, which was good. I loved it when he sent that. I loved it because I'd actually said in one of the chats, like you can't offend me. Like, if everybody's doing like Tony and like, just go for it. You're not going to offend me, because because I'm not a delicate snowflake, but I get, I'm a big stand-up comedy fan, and I get that when people are saying shit like that, they don't mean it. It's for the comedy, it's for the laugh. I get that. So like, when he got that, I actually laughed out, and that's why I put it up on the catch box. But as he put pussy hole, and then I thought pussy, and then it's like, okay, I'm going to put glitter on it because it has to have glitter on it. See, so it's good having this brain, but it's bittersweet. Because yeah, I can be like in England they call it a motor mouth. You can imagine why, like just the engine's going constantly. But yeah, as I said a little while ago, it does get me in trouble. Right, so the zombie, has it got targets on the knees? Yeah. So yeah, so for these, I know I keep pushing these printed. I'm not pushing these printed ones. Like, they are fun, but someone else did message me. I don't want to say names just because, like, I don't want to assume that people want me talking about things. So, like, they can say if they want it or whatever. But they tried the fly one, and they actually said the flies are a lot more difficult than they look. So, if you're just after a different challenge, and I'd say for me, it's more because I can't go out anywhere because I have to drive for an hour to get out of the city limits before I could even pull this thing out. And so, because I'm in a 7 meters in the basement, I have to do things like this so that I'm not shooting the same thing over and over. Like, I need something different, and that's why I do these targets and stuff like that. Did you get the new Omega hat, new colours? I literally saw it this morning, or was it last night? Because I think Chuckin done 2 videos, like one on Thursday, one on Friday. One of them I saw, and he said he's got the, I think, the orange Wendigos, so I haven't looked at those yet. But I'm going to have to look at those in November, because $600 vet bill that I wasn't expecting yesterday kind of ate into my budget a bit, so that was a bit of an unexpected expense. Luckily, like, I had the money for it, but I'm pretty good with budgeting and trying to stick within my limits, because I've been down that path where you just like spend. It's like, oh, I've got the money in saving, I'll just spend it, and it's like, oh shit, where did all my savings go? Why am I now $30,000 in debt on a credit card? That's not literal, just before you... But you get what I mean. Quite a few years ago, well, about 5 years ago, it was like, no, I've got to really take control of this, especially because my kids are getting to the age and I want to teach them how to look after money and put things away and budget properly. So now I try and keep to a strict budget. I only go off of it if I really have to. So yeah, so chuck it if you're listening. It'll probably be a November order, because yeah, I was shocked when he, like, at the vet, when he just said, like, they'd done an X-ray and gave me, I can't even think of the names, like ibuprofen, like anti-swelling thing, $600 Canadian. So that's probably like about $8.50 in US. Right, let's see what we can do with this zombie. But yeah, I'm going to try that, the LEDs around the back. Maybe I'll do that later, and then I'll do this another time. Right, let's go for the chest. Is that showing up? I'm intrigued. Okay, somehow I completely missed it. I think again my brain was going too fast. My brain goes faster than my mouth sometimes, so. Right, let's slow things down. So, anchor, line up the bands, draw a line. I hit the paper for sure because it's moving, but well, it's just a shame that I said I was going for the heart, because I hit that brain target perfectly. If I had learned to shut the fuck up and just said I'm going to shoot the zombie, then I could have said, oh yeah, I was aiming for the brain, but like it's like that target for the brain, it's right through the middle. So at least I know I'm shooting, which that does reflect from the other target, like the zero, we call it a zeroing in target, just helps me get where I am. And that, it was all high, so that shows I am shooting high. Not that kind of high. It'd be interesting to see what it would be like shooting high, like literally high. Would I just like zone out, or would it be more talkative, or like, I'm not going to try it, because yeah, I've tried that stuff and it's not good for me. Like the one time I've tried it, paranoid, like, and it was only a little, and like paranoid palpitations, like it was horrible. Whenever people said to me, oh yeah, and get high, it's gonna feel great, it's like, it's a fucking nightmare. How do you enjoy this? I watch the most fucked up horror movies there are, and one little bit of THC and it was like living in hell. How do you enjoy this thing? I know, like different people, different chemistries, but yeah, that's why I don't touch that stuff, because it's like, yeah. And that's also why I'd never try anything else, because if just a little bit of weed does that, oh, there is no way I would try anything stronger, because yeah, that would not end well at all. I would be like the whole, oh, what was his name? Oh, the stand-up comedian who set himself on fire in the 80s. Richard Pryor, that's it. I could see me doing a whole Richard Pryor on coke kind of thing. I might be more funny though. I might be the next Richard Pryor if I took drugs. No, I'm not going to try to find out. I think I'm going to try pickle forks soon, because also I am naturally doing this and flicking this away when I release. Now you don't do that with a compound bow. You could with a recurve, but you tend not to, because you have a window. Like, you've got the bow coming down, you've got like a cutout, so you're shooting the arrow straight. But when you do a horse bow, there's no cutout, so you're shooting around it. You're getting the archer's paradox. So what they do, if this was a bow, you do a cutera. So let's say this was the bow. When you release, you do that, and it's what Ethan. I've noticed it's what Ethan does, and he does the like a flick. And that makes sense to me, because I'm used to doing that. That just comes naturally to flick away. Yeah, it's probably wise, Redleg, if you know you, people know their own bodies and how they react. Yeah, it was not good. That's why I don't touch it. Don't touch alcohol. Not for any sort of mysterious reason. It was more when I became a dad, and then shortly after became a single dad. So I became a single dad when they were my kids, they're only 14 months apart. I think they were 3 and 2, maybe 4 and 3, something like that. But in my head, it was like, I can never drink. Because even if I just have, being a single parent, 2 kids, it's like if anything happens, even if I just had like 1 drink, I would feel terrible, because it's like I need to be able to, if there was an emergency, get in a car, get those kids in and get them to a hospital or something. House is on fire, get them out of the house. Like, I needed to be focused all the time. So I just, not that I was a big drinker or anything before, but I just stopped. It was like, no, I can't. And it's so rare, like these days. Sometimes for my birthday or Christmas, I'll buy a bottle of whiskey or something, but I won't go through a bottle of whiskey. Like, sometimes I'll buy a bottle and it'll last me like 10 years, because I'm like, Christmas I might have a bottle of wine, something like that, and have a couple of glasses at Christmas. But my kids are older now, so 17 and 18. 18? Yeah, he is 18. I'm still going for the heart. I think that was a miss. I didn't see the paper move. Yeah, if you saw, any of you saw my little rant about the discs, because like when I think I was in Mark's channel, and then someone, I didn't even take note of who it was. Someone said, "Oh, those will shatter," and it's like they don't. They definitely don't shatter. But if anyone wants one of these discs, hit me up on Facebook. I'll be happy to throw 1 or 2 in the post to you, because like free. Like, I've got so many of these discs, because I don't know, like, if you're not in the techie world, when you open up a hard drive, sometimes you get like 7 or 8 of those literal discs inside that unit. And like, I'm forever pulling out hard drives when they die, and at work I'm pulling out hard drives that are dead and just replacing them. So I've got so many. Anyone wants one, message me on Facebook and I can chuck a couple in the mail. But yeah, we're gonna try that zombie. We'll get a few shots off. I can sort of see slightly the light, and I think it is better in the evening, because like where the catch box is there, to the right, I don't know if I don't think you can see it. Maybe no. Basically, there's a little window, just I would say about 10 feet to the right of the catch box, and it's really bright, like the light coming in. But I think when I do it in the evening, because it's dark out, I guess I could black that window out. I might do that, just get a black cloth and just black it out. But yeah, that ambient light I think is throwing things off. So talking of light, did anyone else get the Northern Lights? Aurora Borealis? On Thursday, like I went outside. It was funny because me and Kira, like, we went for a drive, as we do some nights, and all of a sudden she's like, cars everywhere, and it's like, what's going on? Because I don't watch the news or anything like that, so I'm blissfully unaware of world events. But like normally we go like way out. I'm in Calgary. North of here is a city called Airdrie. City. It's like a tiny town, but they call it a city. And then it's just farmland for hundreds of miles, probably. Like there's just nothing. Not even like in the distance, like a little light. It's just like black. And all of a sudden, like we're seeing all these cars, and it's like this is usually dead. Like we're driving around here at like 10:30 at night. There's usually nothing. Cars parked in fields and stuff, and it's like, what is going on? So I have an app on my phone to track the Aurora Borealis, because being in Calgary, like we're at the perfect place for it. Not perfect, but we're at a great location to see it. So sometimes I check in on it and see. I hit it, it just lit up green and said 100% chance of seeing Aurora Borealis. So I'm driving. And I said to Kira, like, apparently, like, Aurora Borealis is out. And then I said, does the sky on the horizon? It kind of looks green, like very subtle. There wasn't like the aurora thing, like Northern Lights. It was just like this subtle greenish. Think of like 80s horror movie kind of green sky, like that kind of very subtle. And I'm like, well, apparently like Aurora Borealis is out. Kira winds down a window, sticks her head out, looks up, and goes, "It's right above us." I pulled over and I put it on my Facebook, and it's on the Facebook for Slinginerd. I put all like the video. I think I put the video and a couple of pictures on there. But it was like, wow. And then when we got home, it was even still out then, because there were people like out and about just looking up, and yeah, oh, it was like bright green, red, like, which I was pleased about. It was actually probably Thursday night will stick in my memory for a while, because seeing Aurora Borealis was actually a bucket list thing. And so I wanted to see it, and I've seen a few times people have posted pictures locally and all that, and I've always missed it. But Kira was like jumped, like giddy, like a little kid, like so excited and happy that they were seeing it. It's like, oh, it's the first time I've seen it in real life. And I just said, me too. Like it was like a real great, like, father-child kind of. That's the way I saw it, and that's why I treasure that night, because it's like we shared like that first time of seeing Aurora Borealis. And if you saw the pictures, it was like green swirls just moving. It was outstanding, and it was just such nice things. I said, oh, I'm really happy we shared a moment. Right, see, so I can be sentimental and serious as well. Just so you know, I'm not all completely insane. But let's catch up on chat a second. Don't breathe, marksmanship. I don't have enough experience around other people, but yeah, I know what you mean, red leg. When I started out in archery, I was definitely told that, and the few times I have shot guns, I've been to a shooting range in Calgary a few times. Now, funny enough, when I went there, one of the people actually come up to me afterwards and said, would you consider joining our club, because you're a natural with it. So I started looking into it, and I couldn't. I mean, I could join their club, but it's like then, buying your own gun and stuff like that. And this is going back 20 years, or well, 15, 16 years. The trouble was, at that time, was that I'd just got divorced. And in Canada, there's a time thing. Like, if you get divorced, there's like, I think it's like 3 years. I don't know what exactly it was, because it's been a while. But you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can own a gun or anything like that. Because like you just got divorced. It would look really bad if you got divorced 6 months ago and then all of a sudden you're out buying a gun. It's, yeah, the optics on that are not very good. But yeah, they said like I seemed to be a natural, and it's funny because like even when I was a kid, there was an arcade game, and I know arcade game is not the same thing. Before you say, there was a game called Mad Dog McCree. And it was like you literally had the gun. It was like a whole Western thing, and you had to go through the levels. But you had to have the gun down and draw and shoot. And I used to get through that. Like after a couple of goes of figuring out the game, like I was so good at it. And I just seemed to be good with anything like that. But yeah, so for marksmanship, I don't have enough experience about the holding the breath. I think I did. That was what was some of the gun range. That was one of the things they told me straight away was don't hold your breath. Like squeeze the trigger on the exhale, and I'd done that with archery when I got more into archery, and I find I'm pretty good. Like I don't need to consciously tell myself to breathe, but I can imagine it. If people have bad habits that they've picked up from the start, I just don't have experience being around a lot of people in that environment, but I could totally believe it, that a lot of people do hold their breath. I'm a truck driver, so my driver's license is my life. Yeah, that's the thing, Redleg. Yeah, if your job is driving, that's another thing. So, especially these days, things like Uber and Lyft, and yeah. I wonder how alcohol sales have been affected over the last few years, minus the whole COVID thing. Because I don't know about anywhere else, but they reported in Calgary it like rocketed up. But yeah, these days I think a lot of people are trying to avoid it because there's those little sideline jobs, whether it's pizza delivery, driving trucks, Uber, like anything like that. It's like, yeah, you can't really be drunk because you kind of die when you crash. I grew up in the northeast corner of Montana. Oh right, yeah, I was going to say, because you said northeast, because I remember last time I went in, or every time I go into the States, I have to go through Calgary, down through Lethbridge, and then I hit the border right on Montana. But if you're on the northeast, yeah, that would kind of be a little bit over to the right. But yeah, I think if you go, I'd have to look at the map, but yeah, I think if you go straight down from Calgary, then you do still hit Montana. You're not there at the moment though, Redleg? I'm not sure, that looked like it hit the centre of the heart. I thought I saw a light appear. Just off from the centre, it's about a centimetre to the left. But yeah, I do see, back in the 80s and 90s. I do see Pickle Fork in my very near future. So here's a question, and I know there's only a few people in here, and I know, Chucking, you're busy and just listening, but even if you do it in your own live or something at some point, I'd like to know, what do people do? Like, what do you do? Like, obviously, I'm recording now, and I'm not just talking for the sake of it. It's to me like it's like we're in the bar together, or we're in the slingshot shooting range together. We're just shooting the shit and chatting and all that. What do you do when you're on your own and shooting? Because I can't have it quiet, so I've got one of these like cheap Bluetooth speakers. I'll put like a podcast on or music or something like that. Usually I'm listening to like Kill Tony or something like that. Just again, big comedy fan. So if you haven't heard of Kill Tony, it's Tony Hinchcliffe, really big stand-up comedian, and he does like these 2-hour podcasts, and it's actually done in the Mothership Comedy Club, which is the one owned by Joe Rogan. And what he does, anyone who wants to, they throw their name in a hat, and it usually gets like 200 people. They get a minute up on stage, and then like they either get, and they'll have like other famous comedians on like the panel or judges, and they'll just like tell them a new one if they're bad, or like they'll say, oh, this is great, and sometimes give them a little advice. But if you like stand-up comedy, check out Kill Tony, and it's Kill Tony because Tony Hinchcliffe, and in comedy, if you didn't know, to kill means do a great job. But yeah, I'll usually have that on, but I can't shoot in the quiet. So am I a hockey fan? I don't dislike it. I kind of, years ago when I had cable TV, I did watch, but I didn't understand the rules. And because there was kind of no one telling me the rules, so I don't get it. I would watch it, and there have been times that in Calgary we've got, I'm assuming, Al, by you saying that you're a hockey fan, so you probably know we've got the Calgary Flames. There's also the Calgary Hitmen, which is like the junior league. Like, I've taken my kids to see them, purely like the. You go and see the Flames, that's expensive. You go and see the Hitmen in mid-season, it's like $20 you can get a ticket for. It's like really cheap, but it's a good. You still get. I mean, I've never been to a Flames game, but you still get that excitement about, like, everyone's chanting. It's still a full stadium. It's still fun, but I don't understand the rules as much, so I can't say I enjoy it on that level. The Oilers and Calgary Flames game in '95. And are you a hockey fan then, Al? I'm assuming you are. I didn't want to assume fully because you might just be asking because I'm in Calgary, but yeah, so I like hockey. I would go and see it, but I'm not knowledgeable in it and I don't understand all the rules. Like, every now and again it would just be icing and like everyone would just stop and it's like, is someone bringing out cakes? Yeah, I'm really feeling a pickle fork soon because that flick, it just feels so natural to do that. Yeah, Red Lake. And then if you was in Montana, yeah, so that was probably a good 6-hour drive. Yes, I've heard of the Boston Bruin. Now, and the other thing as well about hockey is that, of course, it's not big in like hardly anything. There was a team, like when I got into ice skating when I was about 18-ish. So we're talking 30 years ago. They tried to kind of introduce ice hockey in England, and they had a team called the London Knights. Knights, like as in armour, like K-N-I, blah blah, K-N-I-G-H-T-S. So they did have a team, but there was only like 3 or 4 teams in the whole of England. So it was like, it died out pretty quickly, because after you've seen the same 3 teams play over and over, you're like, eh. So maybe I haven't been back to England in a while, and it's been a long time. It's been 20 years. Maybe it's picked up a bit now there, but yeah, in England hockey wasn't the thing. Of course, football, proper football, not North American, rugby, cricket, those are the big things in England. Basketball, again, like we kind of knew it from America, but it's like no one really done it. And for me, the sport that I was into, apart from, like, I was always into like shooting sports, so any kind of marksmanship kind of stuff. But outside of that, I was always into motorsports. So more, and I think like anyone like close to their dad or anything, my dad was a biker, so I was really into like super bikes and anything to do with motorbikes I was into. It's surprising I never actually got one. Hockey started with 6 teams. Can you name them? Without Googling. There's a little bit of a trust thing there. Could you name the 6 teams? And if you say the Mighty Ducks, I know that you're lying. Unless there is a team that, and you're going to know like way before me, but I remember they did have their logo thing was a duck, like the Jason Voorhees hockey mask, but it was duck shaped. So maybe there is literally a Mighty Ducks, but I know there's a team something about ducks. Dirt bikes, oh yeah. Now you're talking, Al. I know, like, Al, when you was on a week or so ago on one of my other lives, and me and Shays were talking about British TV shows, and I'd said Red Dwarf on that one, but there was a TV show in England, and it was called Kickstart. I think it was all one word, Kickstart. I don't think it was two words. But it was all like off-road bikes and dirt bikes, and basically it wasn't like a serious thing. It was actually like competitions of people like that. They'd set out all these different like courses to do, and like it was a proper like competition. Like they'd have to go along beams and have to stand there and then stop for like 3 seconds and then start going again. I bet it's on YouTube. If you look up like UK or England Kickstart TV show. I bet it's on YouTube. Anaheim Ducks. Yep. Now you've said that, that rings a bell. Because I was into ice skating. I think I said that. I can't remember if I said that or not. But yeah, when I was like 18-ish, I got into like ice skating. And I can remember there were a few shops that would sell ice skates and hockey gear, and that's why I remember it, because they would have all the jerseys from the US teams, and I always remember that one with the duck, and I think I saw that before I saw the Mighty Ducks movie, which wasn't bad. It's a shame that like Disney just mess everything up now, like everything they touch turns to shit, but there was a time when they were good. I just wish they would get rid of all this crap that they're churning out now and go back to when they could actually do, like, I do a movie club. I started it during COVID. It was one of these things, it was just like a few friends, we'd get together online and watch movies on a Tuesday night. And then it sort of become a thing, and I'd say, right, whenever it's someone's birthday, you get to choose the movie. Because what we'd done, we'd just like add movies to a list, and I would just have it randomly choose a movie and we'd watch that. But I always said, like, when it's your birthday, you like choose it, like either the before or after, whatever's closest, whatever you choose, that Tuesday is your choice. And like, my birthday's coming up. For my birthday movie, I've chose The Black Cauldron, because like that was so good. Like, I know it's a cartoon, but oh, it was so good. The storyline and the emotions, and like, I won't spoil it in case no one's ever seen it, but like, if you still like watching like kind of cartoons and stuff like that, and you've never seen it, check out The Black Cauldron. So good. And I just only remembered it a few weeks ago. It's like, I want to see that. I'm going to choose that for my birthday movie. But yeah, it's just a shame that I don't know when, but Disney they just turned to shit. Especially all the TVs, like when they first started doing the Marvel movies, and I know they did like years ago, like the first X-Men and all that, but like when they done first Avengers and all that, it was like, oh, these are great movies. Trouble is with Disney, they don't know when to quit, and they just kept pushing it. And look where they are now. They're like I tried. Oh man, I tried to like those, like the TV series, the one a few years ago, Moon Knight or whatever. Oh my god, it was terrible. Even my kid, who's into Marvel and all that, we got into halfway in the second episode, and even he turned to me and went, "This is shit." So yeah, it's just such a shame, because when you look at Disney back in like 70s, 80s, maybe into the 90s, like that Mighty Ducks, right? It was like, oh, these are great movies. To me, they were like, kids and adults could enjoy them. But now it's just like, I think the Disney executives, they go into a room, they say, okay, we're going to do a new movie or a new TV show. Everyone eat curry and then eat 3 laxatives, and then whatever comes out of us, that's going on the script. That's pretty much, I think, how Disney work now. I think I'm getting it. There's a few I think that have gone through roughly the same hole. I haven't said that in a year. Well, I shouldn't really, because I'd hate it to go through the hole. Something's gone very, very wrong if it goes through the hole. Into the hole, out the hole. Into the hole, out the hole. Into the... I say you stop it ending too quickly. You just chant that in your head. Into the hole, out the hole. Into the hole, out the hole. And if you do the whole swaying body movement, apparently that works. Oh. Haven't seen Red Dwarf in forever. They did do a set of new series a couple of years ago. I think 2021 maybe. I think they'd done like a little mini series thing of like 3 episodes. Yeah, oh, I love Red Dwarf. That was like the quote, like I think like probably anything like there's probably a North American equivalent of like those things that just all the kids quote. It was on Thursday nights was Red Dwarf, and oh man, the Fridays, they're all dead, Dave. That's how you knew who the cool kids were. So even back then, it wasn't a case of like the sports jock or anything like that. It was who knew about Red Dwarf, because you've obviously heard of the BBC. There was BBC One, BBC Two back then, so just 2 channels. BBC One is like the king of the, like everything was on BBC One. BBC Two was kind of like that flew under the radar kind of TV shows. But you knew who were the cool kids, like they knew about what to watch on BBC Two, because BBC Two had a lot of like the, and now live from the Houses of Parliament, like it was a lot of that. But when you knew when to watch, they had killers like Red Dwarf. Right. Favourite street bike, Yamaha VMAX, same bike since... You must be a little bit older than me then. I was only 10 in 1985. And did you say you still ride, Al? I thought you said you still ride somewhere. Oh, so you did know it then, Al. See, I know the Canadians, and I knew that the Canadians and Habs, that's the same team, because that's where my kid's mum is from, Montreal. So that's how I knew that. But yeah, I'd never heard of the Calgary Flames before I got here. Probably a reason for that. We had heard of the Oilers, though. We just didn't get the whole why they were called Oilers. And that's in England, I meant. Like, we didn't know and like, understand the whole Oilers thing. Now I do. Because as I say, like, living in Calgary, Calgary is like the TV show Dallas from the 80s. Like, it is all oil and gas here. Be interested to see how well this is doing, because I'm definitely going over the same thing, and I can see that I'm hitting very close to the same. So for me, the zombie, the top right shoulder, I can see there's a big hole there, so I'm obviously gone through that several times. Which means I'm just not concentrating on the line, because just for anyone who doesn't see, like, I'm doing my, what I call the gizmos, like doing the rules from Gizmo. Oh, don't feed after dark, don't. So I'm trying to do that step by step when I shoot. So what I'm doing is draw to the anchor point, when you hear me say it, then line up the bands, means basically get the bands level so it's one line, and then I make sure that the line going from my pouch is going straight down, and that line, if I was to imagine an extension of it, is going to hit where I want it. So obviously that when I've lined up the bands, I'm not drawing the line fully straight because I'm going off to the right, because my release now I'm really good with. But even then, because of the shape of the zombie, like where that heart target is, even though I'm slightly up and to the right, it's still like fairly close. I do have some more fun targets as well. Like, if you didn't see the other night, I had little ghosties. But I'll have to do maybe another video on live or something, because I don't think this is powerful enough to shatter them, because it was like spraying like a chalky dust, but it wasn't breaking them. So I think I'll need to get something like a lot more powerful, and maybe I'll start breaking a few of those. But what I was planning, and I can let this one because I don't think it's going to happen, I was hoping to get a smoke machine for Halloween night and have like smoke in the catch box and around it. But I looked it up and those things are like $80 to $100, and it's like to use it once, because I would have no use for it afterwards. I'm not going to spend like $80 to $100 on something, use it once and then sell it on Marketplace for like $20. Well, I'd put it on there for $20 and then some idiot would naturally turn up and go, oh, even though I saw it was $20, I've only got 15. There's been many times I've had that, and there've been many times I said, kind of, well, it sucks to be you then. Like, don't you hate that? Like, I would much more prefer if someone said, oh, I've only got $15, like, in the email when they're asking about it. Because then I can say to them right there and then, yeah, okay, fair enough, take it for 15. Or I could tell them, whatever, like, if it's the truth, oh, there's another 3 people interested, so I'd rather get $20. But like when they turn up and you're like, oh yeah, it's $20, blah, blah, they come, they look at it, I've only got 15, and I've had that a few times. And I've literally said, well, I've got other people interested, so... And magically, at that point, like fucking David Copperfield, like, is their best friend sitting in the car, another $5 appears in their pocket. If you're gonna haggle, just haggle fucking properly. Don't do this bullshit about, oh, I've only got 15. There's my little rant for the day. Right, let's just catch up on this. Currently have a Kawasaki Vulcan Note 1600. Do you like crazy glue your hands to the handlebars? 1600. I think the highest I've ever been on was an 800. No, I tell a lie. I didn't ride it, but I was on the back of a friend's Yamaha R1. And this is going back to... R1 would have been... very late 90s, I think, and I think that was an 1100. I could be wrong, fact check me on that, but I think the R1 was an 1100 cc. So that was the fastest bike I've been on, was the Yamaha R1. Well, I know early on I got that zombie in the brain, so it's already dead, but it's still coming for me. Whenever I say that, I immediately think of like that very first season of South Park where they're hunting. You can kill anything as long as you say it's coming right for us. It's coming right for us. Yeah, see, I don't have cable, and I know they've done a TV show with Norman Reedus, and like he's a big like biker, and but I think he does like touring bikes and goes travelling around. Because I've seen clips where he meets up with Keanu Reeves, who I know Keanu Reeves is really into motorbikes as well. That guy's into a lot of stuff. Like he's a bass guitarist for, I think he's bass guitarist for a band. And he's the only guy who's never going to get caught out with the whole Me Too thing, because if he wasn't aware, like every time he's with women in a picture, he'll have his hands like that and on show. Like, the guy's from the future. He knew what shit was going to come down, and he's like, nope, every picture, look, my hands are up here. It's the Winnipeg Jets. Yeah, a lot of the stadiums here, they have rodeos. Like, again, I don't know if it's true, but they do say like the biggest one is they claim it's the biggest show, biggest outdoor show on earth, the Calgary Stampede. And there is a lot going on. I'd have to fact check that, but there is a lot going on. I just avoid it. But yeah, there is the Calgary Stampede, and they do that, all the chuck wagons, and I think they call it cattle rustling or cow rustling, where they have to lasso the cow and then they tie up the legs. I think they started to ban that though. I could be wrong. I think there were lots of complaints about it because a few calves were dying and getting severely injured by it, and so they started. And I know they do it on the ranches probably and all that. I'm not preaching anything, but I think I don't have an opinion either way, but yeah, I think I heard they were going to try and ban that, but then like everything gets banned these days. I'm probably banned already. Yeah, so I'm definitely hitting the paper. What I'll probably do, for anyone who's like wondering, I'll probably do about 5 more shots, take a look, and then I'll call it on that. Just because I am sweating like a pig, and I know it's my fault for wearing this hoodie. But as I say, I just wore it to go shopping, and then came home and just never changed. Just because it was a little bit frosty out. So that's one. It looks like I'm doing pretty good, like consistency. It does look fairly good. And also, like me going, it'll give someone else a chance to go live if they want. And oh, straight through the head. I saw that one. And I want to band up some of these, or at least make some bands, because I've got quite a few of these nattys now. I've still got Debbie chucking, if you're still there listening. I hadn't forgotten. It's called Debbie. So I want to probably get a decent set of bands on Debbie. I was going to, with Debbie, like with the fork, just in the middle of the fork bit, just like rub a little bit of tuna fish in. Wait for the cancellation to come. Right, so 3 more. Oh, you've seen it, Al, that show? Yeah, I don't have cable or anything like that, so I've heard of it. I would like to see it, but I got rid of cable many years ago when it was just like, it just costs so much. Like, I believe it's the same world over. Like, you pay for bundles, and it's like, oh, I'm paying like $15 for a bundle where I want 1 channel out of the 8. So yeah, I gave up on that, and I gave up on Netflix years ago when they done things like Cuties, and when I learnt what that was and what was in it, it's like, nope, not paying for this anymore. That's Through the Heart. Oh, let's do it, because I saw shut through the heart and you're to blame. You give love a bad name. I want to do like a hockey thing. Al, because you've mentioned hockey now, I'm going to be looking at the thing that I use for streaming. I'm going to see if I can hit a button and it just does that little bit when I shoot through the heart. It's just like, bang, hit the spacebar, shot through the heart. Wouldn't that be fucking cool? It is true though, for if anyone's ever watching back at this, because I know like you guys, as I tongue-in-cheek call you the veterans, but anyone new to this and of watching this video, totally is true. Stick to 1 frame. I've done the whole I need to jump around. This is day 12 with this of shooting. Some days it's only been like 5 shots because it's other things going on, but sticking with it for sure. It works, and I think I've found my technique. Is definitely the old archery. So I think this is the final shot. I lost count, but we'll make this the final one, and then don't go yet, because I'm going to go and get that zombie, and we're going to take a look. Right, let's go and have a look. I'll bring it over and we'll see how, I was going to say persistent then, but consistent I am. Holy shit. Right, for what I was just saying, just before, about the consistency and sticking with it, that's actually made my day. I didn't realise I was doing that good. See, I'm so good. I'm not a veteran yet, but damn, I'm getting really good with that. I'm actually going to start pulling out some of the fun ones. I've got 3 ghosts. You can see the 3 ghosts hanging up. I'm going to start bringing out some of those. But yeah, I'm going to call it there, because yeah, I'm really good with that. I'm hot. I need to go and cool down and go and get another cup of tea. So thank you everyone for joining, and I'll probably see you on the next one, probably tomorrow. Have a good one.